When your cat steals your seat the exact moment you stand up, have you ever stopped and wondered what's actually going on in that little mind of theirs? At first, it seems like a joke. You get up for a second, maybe to grab a drink, answer the door, or stretch your legs, and suddenly your cat has appeared out of nowhere, curled perfectly into the warm spot you just left behind like it was their plan all along. It's funny, a little annoying, and honestly a little suspicious. But beneath that simple moment, there's something deeper happening that most cat owners never realize. What looks like a tiny act of mischief is actually one of the most emotionally revealing behaviors a cat can show. And if you misunderstand what they're doing, which most people do, you might be overlooking a message your cat has been quietly sending you for years. The first thing to understand is what that seat represents to your cat. To you, it's just the chair you always sit in. Maybe it's your couch corner, your desk chair, or the spot you claim every night when you watch TV. But to your cat, that place carries something incredibly powerful, your scent. And your scent is not just another smell in the house. Cats experience the world through scent in ways we can barely imagine. Their sense of smell is dramatically stronger than ours, which means every surface in your home tells a story to them. And the seat you spend the most time in is soaked with the scent that matters most to them. Yours. Not your soap, not your shampoo, not your laundry detergent, the natural scent of you. The oils from your skin, the subtle chemistry your body produces to a cat. That scent isn't just familiar, it's comforting. When your cat climbs into your spot the moment you leave, they're not simply looking for warmth. They're surrounding themselves with the smell that signals safety. Studies in animal behavior have shown that cats exposed to their owner's scent tend to show lower stress levels than when they're exposed to unfamiliar scents. In other words, your smell actually relaxes them. It calms their nervous system. So when they curl into that seat, sink into the cushion, and close their eyes like they've been waiting all day for that exact moment, they're doing something very simple and very emotional. They're wrapping themselves in the closest thing they have to you when you're not there. And if you're a cat lover watching this, pause for a second and think about your own cat. Have you ever walked back into the room and found them sitting in your exact spot, looking up at you like they got caught doing something slightly embarrassing? If that's happened to you, I genuinely love to know. Leave a comment and tell me what your cat does when they steal your seat. Because almost every cat owner has a story about this moment, and it's strangely comforting to realize how universal this little behavior is. But the scent story goes even deeper than comfort. When your cat takes your seat, they're also doing something that might surprise you. They're mixing their scent with yours. Cats have scent glands on several parts of their body, around their cheeks, their paws, and even near the base of their tail. Every time they rub against something, knead a blanket, or settle into a spot, they leave behind tiny scent markers. And these markers aren't noticeable to us, but to other cats, they're incredibly meaningful. They're like little signals that say, this space is connected to me. So when your cat sits in your chair, they're not just absorbing your scent, they're adding their own. In the language of cats, scent mixing is a powerful social bond. It's something cats do with individuals they trust and consider part of their social group. In a way, your cat isn't stealing your seat at all. They're merging territories. Your scent is already there, and by adding theirs, they're reinforcing a shared space. It's their quiet way of saying that you belong together in the same circle of safety. And if you think about it, this is the same reason cats rub their faces against your legs when you walk into the room or gently headbutt your hand. They're marking you with their scent, not in an aggressive way, but in a deeply affectionate one. They're claiming you as part of their trusted world, and your chair becomes another extension of that bond. Now, before we go further, let me share something personal for a second. If you're someone who enjoys learning these little hidden meanings behind cat behavior, take a moment to like the video and subscribe. Not because it helps some algorithm, but because this channel is really about understanding our cats a little better. The more we understand them, the stronger that quiet connection becomes. And honestly, that connection is what makes living with a cat so special. Another reason your cat chooses your seat specifically has to do with status. Cats are incredibly observant creatures, even though they often act independent and mysterious. They're constantly watching the humans around them. They notice who fills their food bowl. They notice who opens the doors. They notice who moves around the house with confidence and control. Over time, they build a mental map of the household, and in that map, certain people hold more importance than others. The seat you regularly occupy becomes associated with you, the person who controls many of the important resources in their life. In cat psychology, spaces connected to influential individuals carry significance. That doesn't mean your cat is trying to challenge you for dominance like people sometimes assume. It's actually the opposite. By choosing your seat, they're gravitating toward the center of activity and authority in their world. Then there's the warmth factor, which is much more important to cats than most people realize. Cats naturally run hotter than humans. Their normal body temperature sits slightly higher than ours, which means they're constantly seeking warm environments to stay comfortable without burning unnecessary energy. This is why cats love sunbeams, laptop, keyboards, freshly folded laundry, and yes, your recently vacated chair. When you stand up, your body leaves behind a pocket of warmth in that cushion, and to you, it might feel slightly warm for a minute or two. To your cat, it's like discovering a perfectly preheated bed that is ready to go, and because cats are experts at energy efficiency, they instinctively move toward warm surfaces whenever possible. But here's something even more fascinating. Your cat isn't just reacting to the warm seat after you leave. In many cases, they actually anticipate it. Cats are incredible pattern observers. They watch your movements all day long, quietly studying the tiny signals you don't even realize you're giving off. The shift in your posture before you stand up, the sound of you placing your phone on the table, the way you stretch your arms before walking away. These small cues form patterns, and cats are masters at recognizing patterns. After living with you for months or years, your cat has probably seen you leave that seat thousands of times. They've learned the routine so well that they can often predict when you're about to stand before you even realize it yourself. That's why it sometimes feels like your cat magically appears the second you get up. In reality, they've simply become an expert at reading you. Scientists who study animal cognition have discovered that cats are capable of social learning. They watch their owners closely and adjust their own behavior based on what they observe. So when they see you consistently returning to the same chair day after day, relaxing there, spending hours there, they learn something important. That seat must be valuable. From their perspective, if it's the place you always choose, it must be a good place to rest. And all of these reasons, your scent, your warmth, your routine, the social bond, lead to something deeper. Something that explains why this little seat-stealing habit actually means more than it appears. Cats are naturally cautious animals. In the wild, choosing the wrong place to rest could be dangerous. Sleep makes animals vulnerable, and cats instinctively prefer locations that feel secure. When your cat deliberately chooses the place that smells the most like you, they're making a statement about trust. They're saying that the space connected to you is the safest place they know. And if you've ever quietly watched your cat sleeping in your chair when they think nobody is looking, you might notice something interesting. The way they stretch out completely, the way their breathing slows, and the way their guard drops. That level of relaxation only happens when a cat feels completely safe. So the next time your cat steals your seat and looks at you with that calm, unapologetic expression, try to see the moment differently instead of thinking they're being annoying or mischievous. Remember what's actually happening. They're seeking comfort in your scent. They're blending their identity with yours. They're following routines they've learned from watching you. And most importantly, they're choosing the place that feels closest to you. And before we end, I want to ask you something simple. Like, think about your own cat again. The weird habits they have, the tiny routines you share without even realizing it. Those quiet moments are the real language between you and them. If you've ever come back to your chair and found your cat sleeping there, maybe gently refusing to move, take a second tonight to notice it. Maybe even let them keep the seat for a while, because in their quiet, wordless way, they're saying something incredibly simple. They trust you, and if you made it this far listening to this, there's a good chance you're someone who truly cares about understanding your cat. So if this helped you see them a little differently, consider subscribing and sticking around. Not for me, but for the countless little mysteries our cats show us every day. Because the truth is, the more we learn about them, the more we realize those tiny moments, and like a stolen seat, were never small at all.